Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Steuben County approved new infrastructure funding for State Road 54 outside of Bath. This funding brings the county one step closer to welcoming a new Amazon warehouse to the area. Big Fox's Matt Kleindens joins us from Corning with details of the infrastructure project.
Good evening, Lauren. The Industrial Development Agency of Steuben County approved a new six-figure project along Route 54 along Industrial Road, where the proposed Amazon warehouse will supposedly go. At a recent county IDA meeting, a new $100,000 infrastructure package was approved along Route 54 at Industrial Park Road. The area along the road used to house the Mercury Aircraft Building. However, the 77,000 square foot building on the site could soon be converted into an Amazon warehouse. Discussions about the company setting up shop in Bath have been going on for months, with the town's planning board recently approving building permits back in July. In a statement with the Corning Leader newspaper, the town supervisor expects between 200 and 250 new jobs to be created at the facility. Amazon has posted jobs on its website for the potential Bath warehouse. Matt Kleindens, Big Fox, WYDC in Corning.
Doctors and public health officials are welcoming a big announcement from Pfizer on the vaccine front. Alex Hogan has more from New York.
The push to get shots in arms could be getting a big boost. Pfizer announcing new results from its vaccine trials for kids ages 5 to 11, and the news is good. The company says young people developed the same COVID-19 antibody levels as teenagers and adults who were vaccinated, and they had roughly the same side effects, mainly sore arms, aches, and temporary fevers.
We measured the ability of antibody from the children and how well that matched up to antibody from 16 to 25-year-olds. And it matched very closely.
The timing will also be the same. Kids will get their shots 3 weeks apart, but with a lower dose. The announcement comes as COVID cases are increasing significantly among children, jumping 240% since July. And doctors say expanding vaccine access could make a big difference.
You're seeing 300 children a day hospitalized from COVID-19 right now with the Delta variant. So I think that this is a really important tool.
Pfizer says it plans to hand over its data to the FDA in the coming weeks, hoping to win emergency use authorization. But it has to be approved by the same FDA panel that refused to give the green light to Pfizer's booster shots for the general public. Health officials say their focus is still on getting folks to roll up their sleeves for their first 2 shots.
The overwhelming highest priority is to vaccinate the unvaccinated.
And Dr. Fauci also says more data on boosters from Moderna and Johnson & Johnson is expected in the coming weeks. In New York, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
The United Nations is concerned that this week's meeting could be a COVID super spreader event. The UN is made up of leaders from 193 countries. Tuesday, they will meet for the 76th session of the UN General Assembly. The U.S. suggested some world leaders address the assembly virtually, but it appears many will ignore that advice. The UN has asked that anyone who enters its chamber be vaccinated, but vaccinations are not required. A major development in the case of 22-year-old Gabby Petito, who has been missing for weeks. Human remains believed to be hers were discovered in northern Wyoming. Layla Santiago picks up the story from here.
FBI investigators announcing a body was discovered in the Grand Teton National Forest, saying it could be missing 22-year-old Gabby Petito.
Human remains were discovered consistent with the description of Gabrielle Gabby Petito. Full forensic identification has not been completed to confirm 100% that we found Gabby, but her family has been notified of this discovery.
Petito disappearing on a cross-country drive with her fiancé Brian Laundrie last month. The couple documenting their journey on social media.
And good morning. It is really nice and sunny today.
Posting photos and videos of their trip starting in July with plans to end in Oregon in October. But Petito's family says they lost contact with her at the end of August.
I don't know, we've just been fighting all morning.
About 2 weeks after police in Moab, Utah responded to a report of disorderly conduct between the couple. After the incident, police filing a report saying Petito and Laundrie engaged in some sort of altercation. No charges were filed. Laundrie returning to Florida without her on September 1st. 10 days later, Petito was reported missing.
My gut tells me that something bad happened. And I'm never going to be able to hold my baby girl again.
Now, the search is on for Laundrie, who has disappeared. Federal and local authorities launching a massive effort looking for the 23-year-old at this nature reserve. Laundrie's parents saying Friday they last saw him on Tuesday.
His family says that this is a place that he frequents. They also believe that this is where he came.
Petito's family sharing their grief overnight. Her father tweeting this photo of his daughter, writing, "She touched the world." Meantime, the FBI is still looking for any leads about Petito's disappearance.
This is an active and ongoing investigation, so we ask everyone maintain distance from law enforcement personnel and equipment, vehicles, and related activity for their own safety, as well as to protect the integrity of our work and respect privacy for Gabby's family.
The Biden administration is stepping in to help with the extreme heat impacting the U.S. President Biden says he is mobilizing an all-of-government effort to protect workers, children, seniors, and at-risk communities. He says the Department of Labor, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Environmental Protection Agency, and other agencies will help in the effort, making sure people have safe, healthy working conditions and cooling assistance in homes and neighborhoods. The administration is also working on helping people purchase air conditioning units and pay their electric bills. A sudden and massive buildup of migrants in a Texas border town has forced the federal government to spring into action and fly people home. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is heading to the border today, while Democrats in D.C. grapple with a ruling that blocks their efforts for a path to citizenship. Caroline Shively is in Washington with more.
Federal officials are moving to dismantle a massive migrant camp on the southern border near Del Rio, Texas, and blocking others from crossing over from Mexico, as local officials say the effects are being felt statewide.
They're dealing with a sea of humanity in that humanitarian crisis, and they're doing what they can. But with that being said, it's leaving the state vulnerable in other areas.
The U.S. is flying thousands of Haitians in the camp back to their home country. Many had fled to South America after natural disasters and political upheaval in Haiti, then rushed to the U.S. border to escape the COVID pandemic.
We have sent a very clear message. The border is not open, and people should not take the perilous journey here.
More flights to Port-au-Prince are scheduled for Monday, but some administration critics say more needs to be done.
This is all predictable. We've said this for months. The situation at the border is not getting better. It's not but getting worse.
Back in D.C., pro-immigration lawmakers suffered a major blow when the Senate parliamentarian ruled that Democrats can't put a pathway to citizenship for illegal immigrants into their human infrastructure bill. Voters are taking notice of the crisis at the border. A Fox News poll shows that 59% of voters are extremely or very concerned about illegal immigration. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
The Steuben County DA is proposing an extension to the county's traffic diversion program. The program gives drivers an opportunity to quickly resolve traffic tickets. District Attorney Brooks Baker is proposing installing 12 license plate readers to catch uninsured drivers, then allowing them to take classes to waive fines. The expansion of the program is expected to take several months. On the first day of Climate Week, Governor Hochul announced the expansion of New York's SUN program. Hochul is pushing for New York to produce 10 gigawatts of solar energy by the year 2030. Expanding the SUN program is expected to create 6,000 new jobs and move New York closer to its goal of powering 70% of the state with renewable sources. The Hochul administration hopes to achieve a zero-emission energy sector by 2040. Labor and distribution issues are causing a nationwide flour shortage. The lack of supply and variety is already impacting businesses. Lauren Martinez tells us how Las Vegas, often known as the wedding capital of the world, is dealing with this issue.
The owner at English Garden Florist in Las Vegas says they're adapting on a daily basis to deal with an ongoing flour shortage.
The farms cannot get employees. They're having a hard time getting employees. I hate to say it, but nobody wants to work anymore.
Helyu says there's more than labor and distribution issues.
A lot of the farms are raising cannabis now instead of flowers because it's more profitable. So that hurts too.
He said production in South America for roses is down 40%. There's a lack of variety of colors, especially white roses, due to funerals.
A lot of funerals, and frankly, I'm getting tired of doing it. I'm in here every morning banging out funerals and staying late at night, and I'm just getting tired of it. So I wish you guys would get vaccinated so I can have a break.
At After Hours Flowers, customers aren't picky about what they order, so the shortage hasn't impacted them as much. Co-owner Verna Paget said being the only Las Vegas flower shop open 24 hours, her clientele is different.
Guys going on dates, guys in trouble, you want to send your wife flowers and she works till 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm the only one that'll go take her flowers.
Paget said their specialty is mainly red roses. She did say she is concerned how dependent the U.S. is on flowers from other countries.
Flowers come from all over the world, and they either go to L.A. or they go to Miami, and then they get distributed in the United States. And yeah, I think about how that's going to change the industry. You know, we just going to have to get creative with the flowers that we do have.
Still ahead tonight, one of the co-founders of an anti-vaccination mandate group is quitting the organization after getting COVID.
Now all of a sudden I'm in a bed, I can't move, can't breathe. I was afraid I was going to die.
The warning he's sending out to others to help prevent the spread of the virus.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Tonight's Big Fox forecast is brought to you by William Mattar. Good evening, everyone. It was an absolutely gorgeous start to our week, but our sunshine will be fading away as another system approaches from the west. So clouds will start to increase for tomorrow. Rain will be likely by the middle of the week, and then as a cold front pushes in, it will drag drier and cooler air, and so by the end of the week, sunshine will return, along with it a little bit cooler air. So high pressure still in control of our weather at this time. It will scoot off to the Atlantic, allowing for south winds to bring a little bit more humid air into the Twin Tiers. And then, if you notice to the west, we are seeing a little bit of green showing up, an indication of rain that will be coming in out ahead of a cold front that will be sliding through our area. So here's a look at your planner for your Tuesday. Temperatures around 60 degrees at 7 o'clock with partly cloudy skies and then increasing clouds in the afternoon. We do warm up to around 74 degrees, so it is going to be very close to normal temperatures. But then as we head into your Wednesday, it looks like it's going to be pretty weak or wet as that cold front starts to move in. It advances through the Twin Tiers along with a low pressure system. Again, out ahead of it, it will be warm and humid, and then behind the system on Wednesday into Thursday, we are expecting breezy conditions. So the winds will start to kick up and also much cooler air will start to move in. So right now we do have a cluster of thunderstorms in the Great Lakes region, and that will start to move a little bit to the east. So clouds will start to increase early in the day on Tuesday and then become a little bit thicker in the afternoon. But I'm expecting it to be a relatively quiet day. I think most of the rain will be off to our west, but that will change on Tuesday night into your Wednesday. So a few showers start to light up as we head into the overnight, and then on Wednesday the rain becomes a little bit more widespread as that cold front comes in. There will be a few showers and a few thunderstorms that will be moving in throughout the day. I'm calling it spotty thunderstorms and a few showers on your Wednesday and Thursday. So our rain chances will continue into your Thursday, but then as that cold front finally moves in, most of this rain will be pressing off to the east, and that won't happen until Thursday night into early Friday. So here's a look at your forecast. Tonight we drop down close to the 60-degree mark. Highs tomorrow will be in the low to mid 70s. Partly sunny skies increasing by the afternoon. And then we are expecting a little bit warmer conditions on Wednesday out ahead of that front, and then a few showers and then a little bit more rain on your Thursday. We drop down to around 68 degrees, and then over the weekend we gradually warm up into the 70s.
One of the co-founders of an anti-vaccination mandate group in Hawaii is quitting the organization after getting COVID, and he's warning others to avoid large crowds and rallies to prevent the spread. Rick Daysog reports.
Last October, Chris Wyckoff helped co-found the Aloha Freedom Coalition because he felt government shutdowns and mandates were ruining businesses and threatening individuals' liberties.
And they were talking about vaccine passports and vaccine mandates, and it just seemed like it was over-the-top totalitarian control. We were told that the COVID virus is not that deadly. It's nothing more than a little flu. Well, I can tell you it's a lot more than a flu.
Wyckoff, a 66-year-old retiree, thinks he got infected with the Delta variant during a church event in August. He was first sent to Queens Medical Center West, then to Queens Medical Center downtown due to the lack of bed space.
Now all of a sudden I'm in a bed, I can't move, can't breathe. I was afraid I was going to die.
Even though he was treated with remdesivir, he still hasn't been vaccinated yet, but he's still considering it.
Probably getting COVID again would be more dangerous than getting a reaction from the vaccines.
He's also warning others not to take part in anti-mandate rallies and protests, including those held in front of Lieutenant Governor Josh Green's home.
I think that we should be more concerned about safety than about protesting. I think people should not be getting together in large groups for the purpose of protesting.
Officials hope that Wyckoff's about-face will help undermine some of the rallies and protests against the vaccine and some of the mandates.
I feel terribly for this gentleman because I feel bad that he got sick. He obviously was getting bad advice, and I feel terrible that a lot of other innocent people probably held off on getting vaccinated because they were, listening to these fear attacks.
A New Jersey police officer makes a life-saving catch. Officials say the Jersey City cop caught a 1-month-old baby that was dropped from a second-floor balcony. Naomi Yane has that story.
Jersey City police officer Eduardo Matute is being called a hero after catching a 1-month-old baby who was tossed from a second-floor balcony. Officer Matute was one of several officers positioned below the balcony. We talked with neighbors who witnessed the horrific scene.
I look and I see that the neighbor had the baby dangling from the roof. So I wasn't too sure what was going on, just to find out that it was an altercation with him and his wife.
Neighbors say the incident possibly started as a domestic dispute that quickly turned into a standoff with police. One neighbor we spoke with, who didn't want to be identified, watched from his front porch.
And he was not playing. He kept telling the cops to back up, or I'm gonna drop this baby. Like, back up. And he kept wanting to get his foot across, but it was back up. And he was using the baby as leverage.
Officials said the man drops the infant after a lengthy standoff and negotiations. Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop posting a message to Facebook praising the police department, saying in part, "We're lucky to have the men and women of the JCPD. As every single day I see it firsthand, they rise to meet any and all challenges." Neighbors said the incident was unexpected and they'd never heard or seen any commotion coming from the home, even describing the man as a good father.
A man wearing a teddy bear costume is walking across the country for a good cause, and he's documenting his journey on Instagram and on his webpage. Amanda Gilbert caught up with him as he was halfway through his journey.
Look at that beautiful sunset, guys.
A bear's been spotted in Oklahoma, but this is the friendly kind.
Oklahoma, guys.
Bear's son is walking from California to New York City. And here in Tulsa, the teddy bear celebrated his halfway mark, 70 days.
But it feels good though, knowing that I made it this far, because a lot of people were doubtful about it.
He's made it to Pawhuska and even Bartlesville.
I'm headed towards Barsneville, guys. Or Beeville.
Sleeping in tents or hotel rooms. While some days are hot,
the humidity here kind of turns it into a sauna.
It's worth it.
I've been getting a lot of stories about very personal stories from people when they walk with me. And I get to learn a lot. I've been learning a lot.
Okay. He even learned about the echo at Tulsa's Center of the Universe.
You hear it? Yeah, I hear it. That's wild.
There's a reason he's doing all this. His website shows he's asking people to donate money to one of 5 different charities, such as Active Minds or the Autism Society for America. He sure stands out, so he brings awareness while meeting so many people.
Are you guys gonna follow me into town? How are you guys, dudes?
The teddy bear is, of course, a friend to all.
That's the biggest question. Does it stink? No, it doesn't. You can smell me, by the way, if you come say hi. Good morning.
But the chance to say hi is soon ending as he travels to Missouri next.
SpaceX founder Elon Musk helped St. Jude Children's Research Hospital reach its $200 million fundraising goal. Musk pledged $50 million in response to a public call for donations following the successful splashdown of SpaceX's Dragon capsule. Billionaire Jarek Isaacman personally financed the Inspiration 4 mission as a fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Hospital. He was joined on the 3-day space tourism mission by Haley Arsenault, a childhood cancer survivor who now works for the hospital. The crew will continue fundraising for the Children's Hospital by auctioning off some of the items they took into space, including signed collectibles. Authorities executed 2 separate rescues off Florida's coast, a wayward boater and then his runaway boat. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
A surreal and perplexing rescue and retrieval unfolded off the coast of Central Florida when a driver was thrown from a boat and the boat just kept on going. Pinellas County Sheriff's authorities responded to find the driver treading water about a half-mile off Pass-a-Grille Beach. After he was safely taken aboard, focus turned to the vessel, which was out of control and circling dangerously close to the beach. Specifically trained Marine deputies were able to match the boat's speed and hop on board, bringing it under control. The department shared the video with a reminder for drivers to always wear life jackets and utilize tethered kill cords to prevent runaway vessels. It was total control on display in the skies over Wisconsin, courtesy of a 90-year-old veteran with a need for speed. Retired combat pilot Clyde Bridger headlined an airport aerial event in Oconto by returning to the cockpit of a T-33 fighter jet, the same kind he flew over half a century ago in Vietnam.
It's like a bicycle. You never forget. I feel like a teenager all over again.
Bridger, who still has a civilian pilot's license, was joined by a safety pilot and put on a show with a 360 flyover and a touch-and-go landing. Event attendees were treated to close-up looks at more than 60 planes, including vintage military aircraft, but it was this vintage flyboy's high-flying finesse that stole the show.
It was fantastic, just like old times.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
We want to leave you with a smile tonight. A Las Vegas 8-year-old born with a rare birth defect now has a puppy that shares his condition. Maxon Hess was born with microshaw, and as a result, he has a tiny ear on one side. So, a golden doodle born with the same condition could only have one perfect owner. 4E Healing Hearts, a nonprofit that connects service animals with their forever homes, found the perfect match in Maxon. The puppy is named Nemo, who, like his movie namesake, was born a little different. But his new master says that might change. He likes the name Honey or Daisy better. From our whole team, thank you for joining us. We hope you have a great night.